Hey guys, how's it going? Okay, so today I wanted to do an update on the Naked Heat palette. So if you saw my video from last week, I actually was sent a palette, well actually it was like 2 weeks ago, but I was sent a Naked Heat palette that was actually not correct. So the one that I was sent actually had two colors in there twice. So it had Lumbre and it had Scorched, and they were in there, and He Devil and Dirty Talk were the same colors. And I was like, something doesn't seem right about this. Talked to Urban Decay, they fixed it. I actually had a couple of you guys left comments on that video saying that you ordered when Urban Decay did their little quick pre-sale kind of thingy where they released it early. There was a couple of you guys that said that you also got the palettes that were incorrect like this. So I'm kind of glad that I posted it, because I would hate for someone else to be like that going, wait a minute, something's not correct. Anyways, Urban Decay was fantastic and they sent me the correct palette. So I just wanted to kind of do an update with you guys. If you want to see my thoughts on the whole palette, please watch that other video. I'll have a link below. There'll be a card somewhere over in this direction and you can see my thoughts on the whole palette. But I did want to talk about the two colors that were not in the palette before, and that is He Devil and Dirty Talk. He Devil is a matte brick red, and then Dirty Talk, which is a little bit more of a reddish coppery shade. I also wanted to include right here just some brush swatches of all of the colors. I did have a comment on my last Naked Heat video, my first one I guess, where someone asked about doing brush swatches. So here is what all of those look like as brush swatches. So the other thing that I wanted to compare with this palette is I told you guys, you know, that I had heard that the Morphe 350 palette had a lot of similar colors. So I just wanted to quickly look at that. So I'm just gonna go through and see what of these I can find as dupes in the 350 palette. So the first color is Ounce in Naked Heat. There's not really a good dupe for Ounce in the 350 palette. Ounce is definitely like a creamy beige color, and the 350 has a very light white beige, and then it has a much warmer, almost like a peachy beige. So there's not a good dupe for that. There are a couple shades in this palette that sort of resemble Chase, but Chase is a little bit more muted. The other shades are a little bit warmer. Sauced. Yeah, there's one in here that's very, well, it's a little bit deeper than Sauced, but not quite a match. He Devil, not quite. There's one that's close, but it's a little bit more brown and it's not as creamy. And then next we have Dirty Talk. One of the shades here is a little bit more like a brighter version of Dirty Talk. Cayenne, the same shade that's sort of like He Devil, is kind of like, it's closer to Cayenne, but again, it's not as creamy. So overall, you know, because I had heard that the 350 was like an exact match, I wouldn't go that far at all. There are some close ones, but nothing is really like dead on. Are close, but not close enough to be like, oh yeah, it's exactly the same. I think if you're just, you know, if you're new to makeup or if you don't have a really high budget, the 350 palette has nice colors and it has a lot of pretty warm shades, but it's not the same colors as the Naked Heat palette. And I do think the mattes in the Naked Heat are a lot smoother. Now I'm covered in swatches. Swatch City! I totally forgot in my last video to talk about the other products in the Naked Heat collection, which are the eye pencils and the lipsticks. The eye pencils, I'm obsessed with. Torch is this first one, and I end up using this in the eye look because it's such a cool color. And the other shade is Alkaline. This one is a more purpley, it kind of resembles ashes a little bit. You like mixed ashes and Enfuego from the palette. There are 3 lipsticks that come with this collection. You get Fuel, which is a cream, Scorched, which is a metallized formula, and then Heat, which is a metallized formula. I wanted to just do a really quick look with this. I know a lot of people were bummed I didn't have one in my last video. This isn't the same look because I did want to try and highlight the 2 colors that I was missing, which are He Devil and Dirty Talk. So the look that I have on today, what I did was I first used Sauced, and I used that kind of as my transitioning color. Then I had applied Low Blow just a little bit into the crease to make it a little bit darker. I used Torch on the lid, kind of into the outer corners, and blended it out, and put He Devil, patted it right on top, and that kept He Devil looking really consistent and really pigmented. I put Dirty Talk on the rest of the eyelid, and then I mixed a little bit of Cayenne and Enfuego and put that into the crease because I really wanted a very strong, very sultry, like kind of smoky look here. Did that. I used Ounce as my brow bone highlight as well as in the inner corners. I took the alkaline pencil and used it on my waterline as well as blending it out on the lower lash line, and then applied Enfuego and ashes right over top of that, and just to really kind of smoke everything out. For this look, I applied Scorch to the outer corners of my lips, really like the outer 2/3, and then in the inner third I put Fuel and kind of mixed it together so it created sort of an ombre. I really like how that looked. I like the difference in textures as well, and everything just kind of worked out real nice. I'm loving how this looks. It makes my eyes look so damn blue. I'm so about it. I'm like a huge fan. I really, honest to goodness, I've really been liking this palette. And I was reading that there was controversy. I mean, there's been like 800 billion reviews and videos about this palette. So I apologize if this is the 10,000th one you've watched in the last week. I know, I'm kind of like blown away by the fact that literally it is everywhere. It's a little bit overwhelming, but I did tell you I would do an update when I got my new one. So that's why we're doing this. But I personally love this, and I can see myself using this a lot. Granted, I'm biased, like I said. I love warm eyeshadow palettes, especially when they're like real warm like this. There's a lot of really like real warm colors. They're not like super bright, like crazy reds, and I'm gonna forgive that because it is a naked palette, but I do like this. I think that the colors apply really nicely. They blend amazingly. Everything is just so good, and I love how it looks with my eyes. So to me, this palette is a winner. I really love it. Honest to goodness, it is a definite winner. I can't say that I really think that the Morphe 350 palette is a dupe for it. I think that it is an alternative, but it's not the same colors. I think it's a solid contender. Obviously, if you have a million warm palettes, you don't need it. And I think that it has a lot of cool colors. Well, warm colors. It's also like 117 degrees today, and I'm just kind of like trying to live my life, but I wish this was a naked ice palette that I could just dump over my head. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, getting that notifications. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time.